There is no way that I could have conceived this.
Yeah, this is what you get when you ask a NASA engineer to help you build your home elevator. Okay, this is the deal. Now that my dad is retired, he does all kinds of crazy projects. And when my grandpa's in town, they do even crazier ones. I've heard that they've been building an elevator in my dad's house, and so I'm here to check it out.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Pop. Good to see you.
How are you? This is like $1 million mistake to build a 2 to 3 story house of this square footage and not include an elevator shaft. Even if you don't build the elevator, at least put the shaft in there. Why they call it $1 million mistake is because now you have to build a shaft. So you've got to design that, maybe change your roof line, maybe interrupt some of the flow in the house. So we decided, let's build the shaft. We could always use the shaft for storage, for other things, until and unless we need it. Come on over, let me show you what we've been doing. Now that it's done, I can't seem to get my dad out of it.
Before I start a project, I want to know exactly what is expected of that project. Inputs, outputs, everything combined, safety features. As we would have discussions, we'd add things or maybe take things away from it. That's the changes.
Oh my goodness.
So let me show you inside the car, the buttons and what they are. First of all, if you're downstairs, you'll want to press this upstairs button for the car to go up. If you're upstairs, you can press the downstairs button and it'll go down.
It looks like you've got some sort of light switch or something behind you.
Yes, I have it set on a motion detection.
Okay.
So that when you open the door, the light automatically comes on. If you do have a situation where you're stuck, you don't have your cell phone to make a phone call, you can just simply press the alarm key, and when you do that,
Oh wow.
there's a siren that goes off.
Now I see it's a key, so is that like a sort of a safety precaution?
Yeah, it is. The keys won't normally be in certain places because when the grandkids come over or when we have guests and we don't want the elevator used, you can shut it off.
Yeah.
Pull the keys out and put them away.
When you want, when you're tired of Granddad riding it up and down all the time.
Burning out the motors. Each one of these wires here go to the panels on the front that you see. In the car, it's something like about 22 wires that are needed inside the car. So each one of these connection points come into the back of the board and then are connected to other terminal strips, which you can see are connected.
Interconnected in the back.
There is no way that I could have conceived this. It was a pleasure just to watch this brilliant man, in his mind conceive. Eventually things started to go down on the paper, but it wasn't until he was back in Florida when this kind of a drawing began to be born.
We brought all of the equipment and the plans and everything. We had 3 major changes.
Okay.
Originally, it was designed to work off of DC motors.
Okay.
We found out that that's not the way to go.
Right.
So then we destroyed a lot of this drawing by marking through it and rerouting things to have one AC motor. The third modification really wasn't a surprise to us, but just had to be incorporated into the plans.
A year and probably 2, 3, 4 months go by, and he's forgotten by this time all the brilliance of the design. So when we get him here, he has to rethink all of his logic and figure out what he did. I would say that my dad is an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
He does not have an EE degree, and he worked for the space program for 35 years, then retired. They discovered this man's brilliance. They daily invented stuff to get rockets first out of our atmosphere, then finally to orbit, then finally to put a man out there. And you can imagine just the technology it takes to get a man on the moon. Oh my goodness. And all of the systems that are behind that, all the control, all of these things fell to men like my dad, who became quite a leader in his group. And I'm extremely proud of this man.
Me too.